Hello, I'm Jeremiah Cornelius, a security architect from VMware, and I'm at RSA 2013 talking with Eric Chu, who is the founder and president of HyTrust. So Eric, we're at a security show, and I believe it's probably safe to assume that most of the audience here is familiar with what HyTrust does in terms of delivering high assurance around authentication and authorization into VMware environments. What I'd like to be able to talk to you about is understand really where you see HyTrust as adding value as VMware moves into delivering the software-defined data center for our customers.
It's a great question, Jeremiah, and thank you for having us. HyTrust is all about empowering companies to go virtual, right? We help address VMware's largest customer needs around security and compliance and having the appropriate levels of enterprise controls and visibility that ultimately allow them to virtualize their tier 1, their mission critical, their compliance applications, and virtualize faster, virtualize more. And when you think about the software-defined data center and the ability to automate the security policies as you automate the entire data center itself, that's really where HyTrust is focused on enabling policy and automation for security functions that will enable the software-defined security that complements the software-defined data center.
That's great. That's really what we're looking for in partnership. And one of the things I like is that when I had you sort of address what the technology perspective was, you took it right back and explained what the immediate customer value was, which is really what I think a lot of this is about. Nobody's buying security or automation simply for their own sake. What it really sort of prompts for me is to look for something in a specific case where you've seen this value applied. Like, do you have a customer success that you'd like to be able to share that really gives an illustration of how you've delivered this today?
Yeah, no, there's a great use case and customer case study, which was Fifth Third Bank. And Fifth Third Bank is the third largest credit card processing company today. I think they actually changed their name to Vantiv. And what the business case that drove the purchase of HyTrust and what we were able to do for them was that they had two needs. One is they are the third largest credit card processing firm, so they're subject to PCI compliance. And they, in their business case, they believed and they stated that they needed HyTrust to achieve and maintain PCI compliance. So in a lot of ways, that's the stick, right? If they didn't have us, then they wouldn't be able to virtualize those critical applications that contain credit card data. The second thing is, in terms of automating policy within their environment, we provided the network infrastructure segregation in an automatic way based on tags, as well as the host level placement policies based on those same tags that allowed them to achieve multi-tenancy. So they were able to consolidate 7 data centers, which ultimately allowed them to gain greater efficiencies in their VMware environment by having the appropriate logical segmentation rather than physical segmentation of their environment. And in fact, the cost savings that they generated from that easily paid for HyTrust and more for their data center environment.
And that's really, where I see the value also, is that you're an enabler of the software-defined data center story, which really among many of the attributes that it has is having the ability to combine workloads of mixed trust levels onto the same shared pool of infrastructure resources, and then being able to continue the type of infrastructure work that we're doing in isolation and segregation up to the level of authentication and authorization for that complete compliance picture is really great.
Yep.
What I'd also like to know then really is we can see where this is today. clearly what VMware is doing is actually advancing a lot of the automation capabilities ourselves as well to get to a truly software-defined data center. I wonder if you could also then maybe just draw some attention to where you see this going and what's next for HyTrust in terms of this partnership with VMware, where you see what you'll be delivering next with this.
Yeah, so HyTrust enables the automated controls and visibility. We also enable the governance reporting to be to meet the level of requirements that enterprise has for their most critical applications in their data center environments. And we're going to make enhancements to that. Right, we are going to increase our visibility in the environment with alerting and reporting, but we're also going to continue advancing our capabilities so that we automate as much of the security function from the standpoint of orchestrating and automating security that's tied into VMware software-defined data center. And so when you're a customer and you're rapidly provisioning data centers and virtual machines, your security policy is tied with that. It's configured out of the box and it moves with the workload. And we don't want to just do this for the private cloud. Ultimately, we want to do this for private, hybrid, and longer-term public cloud environments and really enable companies to move to the cloud, but move in a secure way and move in a way that security is automated and essentially self-secured for the environment.
Sure, and I think that that's really a story that is in sync with and aligns tightly with the VMware vision for the software-defined data center, whether or not it's inside of a company's own perimeter or whether it actually moves out to something like a service provider and all of those stages in between. This has been really helpful, and I'd like to thank you also for watching from RSA 2013, HyTrust and VMware.